Welcome to the Other 95, a place where I seek truth through intelligent discourse and fresh perspectives, adding a voice to the silent majority. And why am I doing this? So, I've been noticing that our culture has been increasingly polarized over the past few years. And so I've been paying attention to it, watching YouTubers, listening to podcasts. Until this past spring, I think I watched the clip maybe in May or early June of 2018. It was a panel of Brett Weinstein, Heather Heying, Christina Hoff Sommers, and Peter Boghossian. They were speaking at Portland U, and they were just talking about a poll that Brett's brother Eric had put up regarding biological sex. And no, it was actually about gender specifically. If you had a gender question, would you consult biologists or the gender studies group of people? And the poll came out to say around, oh wait, I was gonna put this in as the clip. Okay, let's watch the clip.
I think I'm positive actually it was your brother Eric who said one of the most, I think Twitter's kind of a cesspool. He said one of the most profound things, and I think it's a litmus test for an ideologue. And that is, if there is a conflict between facts, and I know that I'm not getting this right, so excuse me, Eric. If there's a conflict between the facts of biology, and if that conflicts with something in gender studies, on which side you defer?
Yeah, it was if there is a question that impinges on gender differences, who do you trust to adjudicate it? The biological scientists or the gender studies folks? And it was a poll. It was a poll. And the results of the poll were staggering. Now, it's not a scientific poll, obviously, because he's asking a subset that isn't random. But it was
a Twitter poll.
Yeah, it was 98%. And, you know, he did ask if people broadcast it into other filter bubbles. So he tried to get away from some of the bias.
I think it may have ended up 95.5, but it was something 95% biology, 5% gender studies, maybe as much as 98 too. But the replies to the poll made it look like the people who were yelling on Twitter as opposed to voting anonymously. The people who were yelling made it look like you'd be crazy to believe the biologist.
So it was like 50-50 in the comments, but the poll was like 95 or 98 to the remainder, depending upon which of those it was. So anyway, the idea is there's something very different that unfolds when you're privately voting and when you are publicly discussing your reasoning. Those two things do not look alike, and that should tell us something.
So what struck me was just the number of people who are willing to answer a question to give their true opinion, because it's anonymous when you do a Twitter poll, and then the number of people willing to write a comment about it. The fact that it was 50-50 compared to 95.5 was very striking to me, along with the number of people who are afraid to be honest with colleagues, with friends, potentially with family. And it made me feel like I wanted to stand up and say something in a solidarity. You're not alone just because you're part of the silent majority. So I am a stay-at-home mom. I don't need to worry about being fired. And that's why I wanted to start a YouTube channel. That's why I'm called The Other 95, because I'm part of the other 95% of people. And again, it isn't literal. It's more representational of just the majority of people who might question some of the narratives that are being said, whether that be in media or in just groups that are very loud. So that's the first reason why I wanted to start doing my own channel. The next reason is because I want to learn. I want to see other people's perspectives. I I mean, if someone has the same perspective, I enjoy chatting with someone in that sense, but I also want to speak with people with whom I disagree, to understand a different perspective from my own and potentially change, not necessarily, but at least gain a better understanding. So that's what the other 95 is. For the most part, I will be doing interviews of interesting people who are involved in anything in the cultural context that's going on, from, in science, in psychology, in anything, in even physics, those kind of areas, in diet, in what you should be eating, in trends like that, and even freedom of speech, in tech, in different, a wide variety of things is what I'm wanting to look at. And I'm just really hoping to connect with other people and to learn from this channel. So that's what the other 95 is. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. Maybe can I have you move to this just an inch?
You can also move a little, but
no, it's hard. It's hard for me.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Let's review.
Okay.